Welcome back, you guys. How you all doing tonight? With today's 2-0 result against Newcastle United, we are now currently inside the top 4. Now, yeah, I understand, we're still level on points with West Ham, and we're still 4 points behind Leicester and Man United. However, we've won 4 games on the bounce to get inside the top 4, and it does feel like Tuchel has found that recipe, has found that formula for success. And that success is a team that knows how to defend. Now, one thing that's become so abundantly clear is that our opponents now don't create anything against us. They're not having shots on goal. They're not creating opportunities from dangerous areas anymore. We have a team that understands where they have to be at the right times, what they have to do. They have that work rate behind it. And when you see Tuchel on the sidelines, he's constantly up and down, he's constantly energetic, he's telling players where they have to be. If they're not performing, he's going to let them know immediately. And it's everything combined together that has led to us getting inside the top 4. And you know what, you guys, I have to say this, but I would not be surprised if by the end of the season you see us in a second place finish, because with how we're defending, with how we're playing as a team, with how the manager is setting us up as well, a lot of functionality for very understandable reasons, because we do know that Tuchel has not had this team over the course of a pre-season, so to play the free-flowing attacking football is going to be hard. So Tuchel, as all great managers do, he's come in, he's kept the ball ticking, you guys. And in today's match review, I'm going to break down some of the performances from players today. I'm going to discuss Timo Werner, I'm going to discuss Kovacic, so many more. And yeah, without wasting any more time, let's start off by discussing the lineup. Now, there was some controversy at the start. Not controversy for everyone, but I'll give my thoughts and opinions. Tonight, Kepa played the game, and I think at first I was quite, not annoyed, maybe annoyed is the wrong words, but it didn't feel right to me. It didn't feel right that Mendy just lost his place for no reason, considering that normally, if you want to get yourself back into the team, you have to outperform your competition. Or your competition has to underperform and play really bad. And on those 2 occasions, this has not been the case for why Mendy should have lost his place today. And for me, it felt like it didn't sit right with me based on reports that came out earlier this week stating that the boards, they want Kepa to have another chance because, of course, he's a world record goalkeeper. We signed him for 72 million. And the reality is, if we had to sell him, who exactly is going to buy him for anywhere near close to that price? So I understand this is normal, especially for our club. I mean, we've signed players like your Muratas, your Torreses, your Shevchenkos, and we've seen managers be forced to have to use these big money guys in the team for the sake of balance, for the sake of appeasing the board, etc., etc. I understand that this is part and parcel of football, especially, it being part and parcel of our club. If anything though, if you were to pick Kepa today, tonight was the perfect game to pick him because, with Newcastle United, they barely tested us whatsoever. They had no attacking plan. Most of the time, I felt they pressed with no energy. There was no conviction. There was no hunger, no desire. And of course, if you're someone like Kepa who's trying to find that confidence again and get back into the team, then of course this is the best game for you. And even me mentioning this, it's not because it's anything personal against Kepa, of course not. It's more me being annoyed by the measures in place, the people with the power that are able to influence these types of decisions. We understand why from a business point of view, but I don't know, it didn't sit right with me. But regardless of all of that, Kepa, he played and he was solid tonight. He made 2 really good saves. He looked sharp. And, one thing he was definitely doing a lot today, from what I saw from the cameras, was constantly communicating with his back line. So, let's see what happens, I guess. And to continue on now with more positive things, one of the major positives tonight was Mateo Kovacic. Now, of course, this game was easy for a player like him. But regardless, he maintained his quality throughout the entire 90 minutes. His press resistance was absolutely at its finest. Ridiculous. This is the guy that you would pay money to see, in the stadium to watch him play because his technical IQ is out of this world. Newcastle players could not get close to him whatsoever. He was regularly taking out 2-3 players out the game with one little shimmy or one touch away from them, or just his excellent close control. And it's funny, like when I look at Kovacic sometimes, he kind of reminds me a little bit of Hazard in terms of how they like to use their body to shield the ball as they're dribbling past opponents. Their low center of gravity, their stocky physique as well. And tonight, no surprise, Kovacic played that pass that found Tammy early on. He was playing important passes as well to find the attacking guys too. And for me, I think he definitely deserved to get the Man of the Match awards. I think just due to the fact that he maintains his quality throughout the game. It's interesting to see, and he's definitely benefited from this back three system, because now that he has a back three that presses quite high up behind him, it does mean that Kovacic can now focus more on the build-up phase, and that's the best part of his game by a long shot. So today, Kovacic was really good. It's quite clear that Tuchel sees him as his main guy right now, and let's see how Kovacic continues to grow and improve throughout the season. But now it's time to speak about the guy that did win the Man of the Match awards. That was Timo Werner, and he had this funny moment actually in the game where, obviously, like, I think we've all seen the clips now on socials. He was like laughing a little bit, and then like 2 seconds later gets an elbow straight to the face, and it felt like that came at the right time, because after that moment, Werner seemed like a man possessed. Throughout the game today, he was showing his purposeness down the left-hand sides. He was looking to get in behind. He was looking to carry the ball at times. Yeah, of course, his first touch and his, over-dribbling the ball at times came into effect, but that did not actually encapsulate his entire game. Tonight, Timo Werner, as he's proven under Tuchel, as he's proven in the past few games, has been one of the best team players in the past few games easily. And today, after 1,000 minutes, 1,000 minutes plus, he finally gets the goal he deserved. And for me, as I've been stressing, this was bound to come due to how Werner has been playing for the team. I think that's always the bare minimum you have to show. The bare minimum. He did that tonight. He came through, and it was great to see him get on the end. And let's hope now that this was something that allows him to overcome some of the mistakes beforehand, and now we see the real Timo Werner that's going to push on now and get them goals. But I think one observation I have to mention, it's a personal one, a personal grievance, but most times when wide players are playing alongside Marcos Alonso has always allowed that license to roam in fields, to take up those positions that you think a Werner would actually prefer to be in, instead of playing basically as like a wing-back. Because it felt like that throughout the game, especially in the second half. That's when things really kicked into effect to me, because, Werner was constantly on the outside making runs in behind, trying to put cutback crosses in with his left foot. And I was thinking, why can't Alonso do that? Why couldn't Ben do that? Why is Werner not in the, infield position where he's able to take shots on goal? I'm hoping that we're going to see this as time does go on. But regardless though, Werner is maintaining his quality for the team. And I do think that he is going to improve from this, and he's definitely going to grow, you guys. But this game, of course, was kind of tarnished a little bit by Tammy Abraham and the injury he picked up. Now, for me, I did not agree with what Neville was saying on TV about how, Tammy maybe picked up himself for, sticking his leg out in an awkward position. To me, it felt like Lascelles, to win that ball, he had to go through the band first. And let's hope that Tammy is not going to be out for too long, because, I don't know, I feel like Tammy plays an important part for the team, just to have in the team as well. And during times like this, when you have new management and you're out injured, it does mean when you get back, you're going to be right at the bottom of the pecking order. So let's hope it's not going to be too serious for him. But regardless, after that, Giroud came on, and in the end, it ended up being an inspired substitution to make, because Giroud was the player to break the deadlock first. And again, it was just him showing his experience. He knew to not get involved inside the box. He knew to just hold his position and wait for the ball to come to him. And then all Giroud had to do was apply that experience and apply that composure and put it in the back of the net. And once we got that first goal, it felt like Newcastle just completely, even though I thought they were quite poor throughout the game today, they were definitely poor in the first half. And not long after that, we get the second goal that was scored by Timo Werner. So for me, I looked at the first half, I'm thinking, okay, an easy game against Newcastle United. We're already 2 goals up. We've been testing them before too. Let's hope that we can continue this and get more goals in the second half. Now, that wasn't to be the case, and to be honest with you guys, I can't remember too much involvement in the second half. That's not a bad thing, not at all, because the reality is, in 3 days' time, we have a game against Southampton, and then 3 days after that, we have our first leg game against Atletico Madrid. So, for me, this was definitely a case of the team preserving their energy. I think that's why Tuchel made the subs he made to, maintain that defensive balance of the team, to have guys, pushing up in Newcastle's half to control the game in their half. I think that's what Tuchel is trying to instill more in the team. It's not about what Conte used to do back in the day, sitting deep, allowing pressure to come onto you. It's about controlling the game in your opponent's half, and I felt like we'll improve on that as time goes on this season, you guys. But regardless, I think we are going to see a lot more performances like this, where we are going to prioritize having more of a pragmatic nature in the team. I think this was definitely reflected when we saw Reece James coming on for Hudson-Odoi, when we saw Kante coming on to make a 3-5-2 as well. And it'll be interesting to know what this means for your Pulisics, your Ziyech's, and many other attacking players like Kai Havertz as well. It'll be interesting to see how he's going to come back into this team. But at this point in time, tonight was all about getting the result today. It was about getting inside the top 4. We've been in this position so many times where, we have an opportunity to take an advantage. We don't do that. And then in the end, it comes back to bite us in the arse. So tonight, you guys, it wasn't about playing beautiful football. It was about getting the result. And I think that is going to be something we see as the season comes to its end. So on that note, I'm going to wrap things up and keep things moving. I'm Nini FC. This is Blue Lines TV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos.